Whataburger is tasting. Hello folks, Shintigercurl here, that dude in the straw hat, bringing you yet another awesome video. It is Wednesday night. Normally I wouldn't be doing videos on Wednesday night, but tonight is special because tonight is another awesome NXT TAKEOVER special. This is NXT TAKEOVER The End. Now, a lot of people have been worrying, oh, they're calling it the end. Is NXT TAKEOVER going away? Like, no, it's not going away. It's just the end of a certain rivalry that's been going on for quite a while. So, what kind of shit can we look forward to? I got my notes. Let's get started. We open tonight's TAKEOVER event with Perfect 10, Tye Dillinger, taking on the newcomer, I hope I'm getting this right, Andrea Cien Almas, or as a lot of you in the indie and lucha libre crowd might know, him as El Sombre. This is my, or El Sombra, I don't know which. This is actually my first time looking at this guy, and this was actually a pretty good match. Tye Dillinger once again shows he's just not another jobber. He's actually a very talented in-ring competitor. And Cien, well, I'm impressed with what I've seen so far. A lot of people would agree that Cien didn't need to have his mask removed, because I understand he wrestled with a mask. But that, for me, didn't take away any of his special ability, because, well, he looked great to me. Cien picked up the victory. Hard won. Let's get started. Next matchup, we have a NXT TAKEOVER Dallas rematch, as the Revival, Dash and Dawson, take on Jordan and Gable, American Alpha, for the NXT Tag Team Championships. I love both of these two teams. They are very much two contrasting styles, as I've said before, with the Revival being a more smash mouth type team with their motto, no flips, just fists. And Jordan and Gable pretty much being the second coming of the world's greatest tag team. Yeah, this is an amazing tag team match. It continues to be a great time for tag teams these days. It was a lot of good psychology. Both teams playing to their various strengths. Nice little spot with a double ankle lock. And now, no, that is not a tribute to Jack Swagger, not the Patriot lock. We're talking about the ankle lock, done by perhaps the greatest professional wrestler to ever step in the ring, the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle. This was a very back-and-forth matchup. I really couldn't call a winner here because I love both of these teams, but surprisingly, the Revival pick up the win. I'm okay with this. And the Revival also make history by being the first team in NXT history to become repeat champions. That's right. All the former champions, the Vaudevillains, the Ascension, the Lucha Dragons, and the Dubstep Boys, a lot of other tag teams, they've only held the belts once. The Revival, they're the first team to hold it multiple times. It's their second title run, and I love this team. I can't wait for both of these teams to get called up. And just when it appeared like things were going to go well for the American Alpha, they get jumped by some two big hoss-looking motherfuckers who look like clones of Brock Lesnar with a little bit of Samoa Joe's DNA mixed in. No one knows who the hell these guys are. I didn't know, and probably someone in the comment section will know. But more surprisingly is the appearance of Paul Ellering, or Paul Ellering. Paul Ellering. I prefer Paul Ellering. For those of you who don't know, from you youngsters out there, Paul Ellering is the manager of perhaps the greatest tag team to ever set foot in the squared circle, Hawk and Animal, the Legion of Doom. That's right, he is a certified Hall of Famer, and one could say he is one of the greatest managers who ever lived. And apparently, these two big hoss-looking motherfuckers are his newest tag team that he's representing. Things are getting interesting. Next up, I couldn't wear pants for this match because it's awesome on paper and it was awesome to watch. The greatest man who ever lived, A-Double, Austin Aries, takes on the King of Strong Style, Swagsuke himself, Shinsuke Nakamura. What more can you say about this fucking match? You got two world-class athletes, two men who have pedigrees and honors and distinctions and titles from around the world, facing off in a magnificent, magnificent match. Very interesting. It was very interesting to watch A-Double counter a lot of Shinsuke's moves with moves of his own. A lot of counter wrestling going on here, and it was just an amazing thing to watch. Of course, as much as I love A-Double, gotta give it up to the King. The King dethrones the greatest man who ever lived. Shinsuke comes out on top, and they give him a standing ovation. One for the third time this year, Shinsuke Nakamura gives us yet another Match of the Year candidate. The main roster is not ready for you, Swaxgay. Anyway, up next for the NXT Women's Championship, Asuka, the Empress of the Women's Division, defends against the Conqueror, Nia Jax. Now, Nia pretty much made a name for herself by being this unstoppable female beast of a woman. And she earned her spot in this one by defeating and putting out Bayley, one of the most popular champions the NXT ever had. So now, these two, this match was a clash of styles. You got uncompromising, absolute, pure power from Nia Jax versus raw, intense, female intensity in Asuka. Both women didn't give an inch. They threw everything they had at each other, and it was just a sight to watch. But in the end, Asuka reigns supreme. Not to say that Nia got jobbed out in this one. I mean, even though this is the second title match that she's had, and she came up short on this one, but it's not to say that she did anything wrong. It's just that, well, this one was it wasn't her time to be champ. So yeah. Nia, you put up a good time, but it's not your time yet. It's still Asuka's time. We have a small little backstage segment with Mr. William Regal, and apparently someone is meeting with him. Who? None other than the It Factor of professional wrestling, the leader of the Selfish Generation, one half of one of the greatest tag teams in TNA history, Beer Money, Mr. Bobby Roode. You heard me. And finally, our main event. Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, steel cage match for the NXT World Title. This feud has been going on for so long. This is what it meant by the end, or as they've now abbreviated it, the end of the beginning. This is for the first time ever. The NXT will have its first steel cage match, and its first steel cage match for the main title. Neville was in attendance, the former longest reigning NXT champion, who was in part of not only the first NXT TakeOver main event special, but also participated in the first ladder match in NXT history. So it was good for him to be there. Once again, Balor and Joe put on a clinic. They just pulled out all the stops to give us an entertaining battle. Finn wanted it, Joe wanted it a little bit more, and after what my friend Dead X-Man were called the Super Muscle Buster, Joe retains. Amazing matchup. But everybody knew this was going to happen because, well, Finn, it's time for you to move on. It's time for you to come to the main roster, and right now, a certain club is missing your presence. Shit. Sorry, I got a cramp in my hand. See, whenever I talk about Finn Balor and the Bullet Club, my hand kind of cramps up like this. I don't know why, but it does. So yeah, that was NXT TakeOver the end. My thoughts? Yeah, boy! Once again, NXT puts on an amazing, amazing show. With some great, solid wrestling. Great, as always, from top to bottom. I'd say probably the weakest match of the card was the opener between Cien and Ty Dillinger. But not to say that it was bad. It was just a small opener. It didn't get as much time as the other ones, but that's not the fault of them. It was just an opener. It did all right. There you go. So yeah, That's my video. Like what you see? Link, comment, subscribe below. Got any questions, comments? Or how about this? Question of the video. What was your favorite match from NXT TAKEOVER The End? Leave below, I'll get back to you. You already know how to support the channel. Not going to say much. Hit me up on Twitter. Hashtag captluffy. So with that, until next time, it's been Shintigercurl, that dude in the straw hat, saying good night, and Whataburger's delicious.